Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at The Reaping, and this is by Nightmare Brewing Company. And it is a whopping 22.4% ABV. Check it out up next. Hi everybody, and welcome to End of the Day Beer Review. My name is Rich, and today I'm going to be looking at The Reaping by Nightmare Brewing Company. Now this is a very small brewing company on Long Island, and they put out some really impressive beers. Last year I reviewed their beer Escapism, which was fantastic, and this is The Reaping. So this is a 4-year anniversary barrel-aged Escapism Imperial Stout with honey, vanilla, cacao, and lactose, aged 3 years in hand-selected wet bourbon barrels. And this is 22.4% ABV, which is the most I think I've ever had in my life, and probably the most I've had in, definitely the most I've had on this channel. Now, first thing, Nightmare Brewing always has some really interesting can art, and they do, again, here. It's a little gothic, a little scary, but I have always liked their cans. And again, this is a really special one, thanks to Kevin, who was able to pick this up at its release. And it actually says that it was canned on 12/16/22. So this is a pretty young beer in the can, but again, it's been aged for 3 years, I believe it said. Yes, I believe that's what it said. Let's go back and look again. 3 years, yeah, aged 3 years in hand-selected wet bourbon barrels. I don't see any information on the can that says anything about, what bourbon barrels were used. And it actually says on it, thank you for making 4 years possible. And this is for you. And this is definitely for me. Actually, this is a little intimidating, to tell you the truth. 22.5, we're getting into some serious ABV. So let's crack this open. And this will definitely be the only beer that I have today, because that's pretty hefty. And just like the Escapism I had last year, the aroma just fills the bar. Without even putting my nose to a glass, I'm getting the bourbon smell, I'm getting, I want to say, some vanilla already. It's really, this must be a very robust beer. It's also, I don't know if you can see that pour, that is coming out jet black. Quite frankly, it's the darkest beer I think I've seen either. Not a whole lot of carbonation, but oh my God, the legs on that are insane. It clings to the glass almost, it's almost syrupy. Forgive me, I got a fingerprint on the glass before, and it's probably gonna stay there the whole time. But my God, that also, that is like looking into the abyss. That is jet black. Let's check out the nose. I'm getting a lot of bourbon on this one. Could I tell you the type? No, I can't, but wow. I'm getting chocolate. And to me, it smells like a dark chocolate. Getting a little vanilla. Wow, this has got a hell of a nose on it, folks. The nose is really complex. A lot of bourbon, a lot of chocolate, a lot of vanilla. This is like bourbon barrel season ever since Black Friday. So this is what I'm really looking forward to. And again, I have to thank Kevin, who you might have seen on our 6-year blind vertical for the Goose Island Stout. He went out and he picked one of these up for me. Apparently, they also released one where the can was like in wax and there was a cadaver tooth. Like I said, they go sort of for the gothic thing. I did not, and he did not get that one. This smells great. Again, I am a little bit sort of, wary of the 22.5, but it all comes down to the taste. So, is it gonna just overwhelm me with alcohol? I don't know. I hope not, because right now the nose is bourbon and chocolate and everything that I love. All right, let's see. Oh my God, how is that possible? I expected to be overwhelmed by the alcohol, and I'm not. This is lovely. It's, the bourbon is there. There's actually a little sting on the front of the tongue. There's a lot of bourbon on the back end. There's a lot of chocolate in this beer. And there's a smokiness that I also wasn't expecting. Oh, okay, there's the alcohol bloom in the stomach. This is really good. Dangerously good, I might say, at that ABV. Yeah, this is definitely a sipper. This is not one you're gonna drink fast. And it blooms in your stomach. It's like this warm blooming from the alcohol in the stomach. It's very nice. But like I said, I'm getting that whiskey, the bourbon taste to it. But I'm also getting this really, really interesting sort of like oak smokiness. Sort of like that smell you get when you're too close to a fireplace. You know, that nice sort of like smoky wood taste to it. It's really something else. You know, I enjoyed every one of the beers that I've tried by this company so far. And I have to tell you, like, this may not be everyone's taste because it is strong. And you can, once it hits the stomach, you can feel that burn. It's almost like, you know, taking... It doesn't feel like drinking a beer. It feels like drinking a spirit more than anything. But my God, the flavor profile is really nice. Bourbon, some chocolate. I'm not getting vanilla, you know, like a white chocolate like it says on the can. I'm getting more of a dark chocolate, but it might be the bourbon that's just sort of overwhelming it. Let me look at the can again, and let's see how close I'm hitting with this. That's the sweetness. I thought the sweetness might have been the lactose, but I don't think that's what it is. It's also got honey in it. And I was getting this sort of muted sweetness in the back of my tongue. And yeah, I guess that must be the honey, but wow. Okay, so initially I didn't get a lot of alcohol with this, but now I'm starting to feel it in the throat, in the belly. It's enjoyable. It's a very warming type of beer. But the reason it's so warming is that the ABV on this is through the roof. You know, when you grab a beer and it makes a Goose Island, you know, like it adds 10 points onto a Goose Island stout, that's a pretty heavy duty ABV. And the way it's clinging to the glass, this is the most impressive instance of legs that I've ever seen on a beer. You know, the mouthfeel, it's not syrupy, the carbonation's not overwhelming. I'm not being, you know, like beaten by it. In fact, I almost wish there was just a hint more carbonation to sort of make the flavor blossom a little bit more. Yeah, that's very good. That is very good. So, you know, I have been very impressed by Nightmare Brewing. It's, again, a very small company. I don't even think they have their own sort of brewing space. I think they rent out brewing space, but I might be wrong on that. If I am, please mention that in the comments. But my God, they've done a really nice job with this. Very complex, you know, a mixture of bourbon and that smoke and that chocolate and that sweetness that's associated with the honey. This is just an outstanding offering. The pity is I don't think that it'll be available again, because they said this was a one-time type of release, I believe. But it is fantastic. If you can, I believe this was $22 for this can. And again, thank you, Kevin. If you're looking for, I guess, just a drinking experience, this is not something that you're gonna get into over and over again. Like, this will be a one-time thing. If you can get a hold of this particular beer, I highly recommend it. I feel bad that I opened it by myself for this video. I wish someone else was here to discuss it. But it is a beast. And like I said, now, excuse me, the more I'm drinking it, the more I'm feeling that alcohol. And it definitely, you know, it's not as alcohol forward as I imagined 22.4% would be, but it's there. But it doesn't hit you until it hits your stomach. But you're still getting very, very clear notes of the bourbon, very clear notes of that chocolate, that sweetness that's associated with the honey. And I think it's fantastic. I'm really interested. I honestly hope they have more of their escapism their Imperial Stout hidden away in some barrels, and they offer this again because at 3 years in the barrel, this is just a beautiful, beautiful beer. I don't want to say it's mellow, but it's definitely mellowed the alcohol to the point where it is really, really enjoyable. But this is a beast of a beer, and you can feel it after a while. But if you get a chance, this is once again called The Reaping, and I understand that, and it is by Nightmare Brewing, and it is fantastic. Again, about $22 per can. I don't know what it'll be on the secondary market, but if you can get a handle on this one, if you can get your hands on it, I would definitely pick one of these up. And I wouldn't try it alone because 22.4, that's a pretty heavy hit. I will probably be drinking this for the rest of the evening, but it is really, really solid. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Would love to hear anything that you have to say. If you've had anything by Nightmare Brewing, please, I'd love to hear any other recommendations that you have. But this is, again, I just can't believe the legs on this beer as it sits there. It's, you know, it's something else. Again, to me, it's almost like drinking a very, very light spirit. But oh my God, this is really, really good. They've done a phenomenal job. And if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Cheers.